Welcome everybody to Fireside Yarns, Season 2, Episode 15. My name is David, and with me as always are the two guys who between them have two good eyes. Vinno and Reese. How you going, boys? We have 6 good eyes now.
Oh, 6.
Oh, fucking hell.
That's, yeah. All right. That's fair. I'll cop that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm being a good boy. I'm actually wearing my glasses.
Look nerdy.
Yeah, brother.
Looks good.
No, you look awesome. You look awesome. What are you getting up to, boys?
Oh.
This week.
Mate, I
On the
get
coffee.
you back this week.
Yeah.
Finally.
Fuck off.
Finally.
The Irish coffees.
No.
I'm actually also going to be on the coffees. There's no booze. Wait, hang on. Is this Vinno's first sober episode?
Oh, I've got beers there. I'm just having a coffee first.
That's his
I
wake
got all
up.
excited. Oh, look, speaking of,
Yeah. That's how he chases his
you.
coffee. Whee.
bit of
Dunder Mifflin.
world's best boss, mate.
Oh, fucking hell. Get the fuck
Big.
out. Please.
You just told them all to get the fuck out.
If you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. Pretty
Thank
much.
you.
Boys. Look like you got a halo, Reese, with your ring light. Yeah.
Because I'm an angel.
So
An
what
angel
day,
underneath.
when do you get the ute back?
It'll be ready tomorrow afternoon.
Right.
Oh shit! Fuck yeah!
So, whether I get it this week or I'll go down. Thank you. I'll either get it this week or I'll go down and get it Monday.
Yeah, okay. Fuck
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, so pretty keen,
Fucking oath.
Been a long wait.
mate. It's been
Yeah.
what has it been? Nearly 4 months.
Wow.
Oh fucking
Yeah,
Jesus.
February, halfway through February, I took it down. So I'm very excited. I can't wait.
Fucking oath.
Yeah, but yeah,
Well,
other
you
than
can
that,
wait, can't you?
well, yeah,
You found out you can wait.
I found I can, yeah, I think I could safely say I can
He
wait.
could and did wait.
I'm a very,
But
very
the wait is
patient
finally
man.
over.
I'm a very
Yeah.
patient man.
No, I
But
love
that's
it.
okay. Yeah, I'm excited because I'm excited to get away and, you know, do some shit.
Mm.
Yeah, you
It's
put
gonna
it
be
to
good.
task straight up.
Yeah. Oh, mate. It's going to be fucking sooting everywhere.
Like straight up to the fucking bendy.
Yeah, fucking earth. Yeah, so you're going up there this weekend too, aren't you?
Yeah, man. So we got to put down a couple of trees to make way for the shed. So going up there, doing that, camping, drinking,
Yeah.
all the rest.
All that really horrible stuff.
Bit of yabbying while we're there. It'll be fucking good
Oh.
too. Fucking good
hell.
too.
Are you gonna have a flick, Vinno? Are you gonna have a flick?
He's got no fishing. He's got no fish in the dam. He's just got yabbies. I won't have a flick this time.
Dave, you should go. You're the yabby expert, aren't you?
There'll definitely be no fish in there if I go down for a flick. Now I'll go down there. You go on Yabby and I'll pack up me string and sausage now. Have you got an esky lid or do you want me to bring one? Scoop her out.
To scoop her out.
Gotta scoop it out. No, because you only pick them when you see the little hand come up and you scoop them. Because if you let it, you know how it is. But anyway,
The little hand
well,
club.
look.
Just
it's
dangle
a
your
little claw.
sausage on a bit of skin.
Yeah,
Ooh.
not the Yabby claw, the Yabby hand.
Hang on.
Not skin. I meant to say string.
Yeah, I was thinking
until you see
Yeah,
their
I tried
hand
to
come
keep
up.
going, yeah.
Sorry, I saw
I'm gonna drop
as
me
I was
sock-
saying
drop
string
me
is
sock
always
in the
there,
fucking
yeah.
water and wait like that.
No. See, as I was saying it, I looked at Vinno and I instantly thought skin. Like,
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
that's what I do.
yeah.
Dangle your sausage on a bit of string and wait for their hand to come up. Then you
Sausage,
scoop
Vinno,
it.
skin. Yeah, scoop him with the esky lid. Get him in there. Throw him in a fucking fish tank with a bit of milk, lads. You know? But I eat them fresh. I eat them fresh, lads,
Just
bro.
eat them raw, straight out the pond.
Bit of milk.
Wriggling, just like Gollum. Yeah.
And this is Fireside Yabbian.
Well, and that's been it. That's us for the week.
It's still the
can we
it's still
top
the
that?
same acronym, FSY, Fireside Yabbian.
Well, Fireside's one word. But yeah. We always get that wrong, eh?
We do,
When
we
go
always do.
FSY, it's like, wait, what are you doing? It just sounds so good.
Yeah, that's all right.
FYI, it's FY. But yeah. Oh, it's too confusing. But
It's way
anyway,
too-
everybody, we do have a couple of things we wanted to touch on. I thought maybe, so the two things we want to touch on is obviously new Prime Minister in Australia and then fucking the Texas shooting. But I thought it might be a good idea for us to just, you know, talk about the good news first. Well, in our opinion, good news, or at least the less tragic news of the Labour win. And then if people want to check out and don't want to fucking be here to talk about the Texas shooting, then they can skedaddle. Yeah. But yeah, boys, what do you think? Albanese, he went. There's a bit of the Liberals lost some seats to Labour, Teals and Greens.
There was some
and it was a bit of a progressive movement.
There was huge.
Yeah,
losses,
actually,
man.
looking through the list, I noticed quite a few places that actually, because it tells you if like they retain or gain. There was like quite a few. Yeah, there was quite a few gains. You know what I mean? So there was obviously a big mix-up, big shake-up. Like,
there was a massive overturn. Yeah, there was like it's good because I think we've needed change, especially
absolutely.
The last few years has been, I mean, this and in my opinion, the Liberal government has just fucked up their time in power, massively.
Disaster. Yeah.
Not only not being there during disasters, but then the corruption, all that sort of shit. It's time for change, and I think everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people in the majority obviously feel the same way. Decided that it was time that we have someone else on the reins.
It's funny how
it's interesting to see
much...
straight off the campaign trail, mate. Albanese's on a plane and in Japan talking with the world leaders like he hasn't fucked about. He's straight into it.
Like, oh, look, Albanese's already spent more time in Japan than he has in his own country of Australia. Oh, this is 10 times worse than Hawaii.
Yeah.
Japan.
But, I mean, already put the Aboriginal flag in the in Parliament.
And the Torres Strait Islander flag behind him in Parliament. That's the first time that's ever happened, man. It's incredible.
Acknowledgement to country for his speech to start with. And then...
and also the Uluru thing.
Committing,
he's putting through. That's going to be awesome, man.
That's a big thing, man. And
long overdue.
For him to say that straight out the gate after...
That was his first thing.
Yeah, he hasn't, it wasn't a big push for the campaign trail, but to come out and do that, made a lot of people very happy. So, look, it was,
step.
It was, as they always are, the campaign trail's interesting and the comments and the toxic bullshit that goes on with it. But
I'll tell you the most toxic thing that I thought. There was no democracy sausage at my fucking voting station.
Look, that's bad.
Oh, I wouldn't have voted. I would have protested.
Mate.
I'd have burnt the place down. What?
Yeah, no democracy sausage. I was filthy.
Did you go to Bunnings afterwards?
I starved all day.
So you didn't go to Bunnings afterwards?
No.
Well, that's
a hunger strike. Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Involuntarily. Oh, man.
Yeah.
No, we had... Okay, can I actually say something pretty fucking shit? All right? Because I'm not a breakfast dude, okay? And we went down in the morning. I can't believe I'm saying this. I feel like such a fucking immigrant. But I went down to vote. And M got a democracy sausage. And I didn't. Because I was not feeling
the fuck home.
In the morning.
Go back to your record.
Yeah, it's like, get the fuck out. Back where you came from, you smelly mud paddy.
That should be One Nation's fucking slogan. Just get the fuck out.
We grew here, you flew here.
Yeah, remember that. You can't get here by any means to make you happy. You can't be boat people or you can't fly here.
Yeah, well, they'd hate Aboriginal people too, so you can't even be fucking...
Yeah, no, you can't even be from here.
Traditional inhabitants of the fucking... You're here, we fucking hate.
It's a pretty intricate society. You got to have came here about 200 years ago, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I love it. But here, good thing for the National Disability Scheme. It's going to be good. ICAC, so like you're hinting at the start, a lot of corruption out there, and I love Albo. Like, I think the way he wants to talk about governing a little bit more. How would you say? He's going to work with people. He wants to kind of bridge the divide and be a leader properly. Even like he could have said a lot of shit in his when he won, and I think it was very unifying what he said. Hopefully, people will get behind him, give him a shot.
Yep.
Great shit, eh, boys? Great
Well,
shit.
I think the best thing.
What are you looking forward to the most? Yeah.
Well, what I was looking forward to when it happened was I met the big fella, Big Dan.
Oh yeah, that's
Dan
right. You did too.
Oh, dude.
He came. He was
Did he
walking along
crush
the
your
line.
hand when he shook it?
Man, he's a big boy, eh? He's
Hold on.
fucking
Yeah,
massive.
That's
man.
what she said.
Yeah, man.
I was spewing because as we were walking out, he was taking selfies with people, and I was half tempted to go back and just get a photo for the boys, but
You definitely
I kept
should
walking.
have.
Man, there was that many people there. I was not
Yeah,
going
man.
back through the
He's a
fucking
thing
line.
now. I was going to say he's a big thing, but he is a big thing. Isn't he?
Sure,
He's
he would have
the
been
man.
worth the wait.
But he was walking along the line talking to everybody, even people that
Yeah.
weren't interested in Labor. He'd give them the time, and he was very respectful.
He didn't go to 6 meters, though. Did you ever see that, the big 6 meter chalk line by the ballots?
No, well, he
Is it
wasn't.
6 or 16 meter? I can't remember.
He wasn't there. No, because the lineup went all the way
Where
out
was
to the
he?
car park. Like it was. This is early in the morning. When I say early, it was probably 9 o'clock.
I waited
there
till
was
the
a
afternoon
huge
for the rush to
lineup.
be over.
Yeah,
Because it was like not far from my house, man. There was cars parked on my front yard and shit
Yeah.
all day. Like,
I wanted to get it done and dusted. Plus, I heard he was down there, so I popped down just to say
Just to
g'day.
gasp at him.
Yeah,
the
just
800
to
of the
see
world.
if he was as big as the fucking mountain. And he's
is he
walks
actually
in, he
that
goes,
tall?
yeah,
He's a
man.
fucking big cunt, man. Yeah. He is, man.
But
Because
just a
Albo's
nice
not a
guy,
small
too.
fella. I'd say Albo's about 6 foot. He'd be close to 6 foot. Because he was... But anyway, fucking dude's fucking obvious. Like, Albo's like at his nipple.
Yeah.
Albo could walk up to him and just suck his nipple. That's how I gauge height.
Right on a zipper.
He might have bent down
My zipper.
a little bit. It would be
But
very easy for him.
How
to
good
suck
was
him.
it? He was on the highway the day after the election, thanking everybody.
Yeah, I was about to say
was
that,
fucking
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, oh, that was
With
fucking
signs
wicked,
and
actually.
shit, man. He didn't just
Humble
disappear.
man.
And, yeah, he was out there for a good few hours, from what I believe, with signs thanking everybody. So, yeah, that's going to be
Ah,
interesting.
good on him. It will be interesting to see what the future brings. What's what things we do notice change.
I'm just looking forward
just
to a bit
as
of
you said,
progressive
Vinno, just
movement. Yeah. Sorry, go Dave.
Well, yeah, we got a weird independent in Canberra now. I was talking to him about him last week, David Pocock. Remember, he's an ex-Wallaby and all.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
He's an independent and he won. And he knocked
good.
out a Liberal senator. So, and he was down there at the voting station. I didn't get a picture of him. But I probably should have. Would have been cool.
I'm
But
surprised
here,
you didn't.
no queues in Canberra in the morning either.
Yeah, right.
Interesting. I suppose a lot of,
No queues anywhere.
you see a lot too, like of the conspiracy theories that have come out around the election already too, and it's like
That's what I
people
was-
questioning how could it be sworn in when the votes weren't finished being counted stuff. That all just comes down to the fact that they already had enough seats that it wouldn't have mattered.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they just the only thing now is to see. They're gonna check the secondary votes to see who's gonna like. They're not gonna have a majority government. Maybe they might. I think they only need 2 or 3 seats, and there's 10 undecided or something like that. But either way, yeah, you're right. He's gonna be prime minister. Yeah.
That's what I mean, like, about the toxic bullshit. You know, people starting to get it and, like, jump at each other's throats. Plus, you get the conspiracy theories come out. Like,
It's the
one that-
Americanization of it.
yeah. The one I heard was, how can they have a decision that's only a few hours after the fucking vote's closed? It's like, well, you know, they do keep track of this shit.
And
We're
they
not-
waited for Scott Morrison to concede. Scott Morrison
Yeah.
conceded.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, and you know what? Fair. You think it's just a normal thing that you do in the countries, but you've seen what happened in America. How
Yeah.
easy it could have been to fuck around and try and stoke the fire of the lunatics.
Yep.
But he was the first person to come out, you know, and he did the right thing. And the peaceful transition of power is the most important thing in democracy. And yeah, he did a shit job. And yeah, I'm glad he's gone. But he put his hand up and said, Australia has spoke.
Yep.
I'm fucking getting out here. And he rang up Albo, and he was like,
I'm off to Hawaii, can't see ya.
yeah, exactly. See ya. Fuck off Fuck off to Japan, you little fucking cunt. You broken home bitch. You know what I mean?
Fuck.
But yeah, the first, what's he? Is raised by a single mom in welfare housing, and now he's the Prime Minister of Australia. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, even the talks in Japan are going to be interesting. I see that he's already had conversations with the Chinese ambassador there regarding
India and Japan.
release or easing the trade tariffs and all those sorts of things, and starting to move forward in preparing that relationship. So that's going to be interesting to see how that turns out.
He's been good with the crap, like Biden talking about obviously intervening militarily in Taiwan.
Yep.
And Albo just gave a great measured answer that was the right thing to do by saying, like, he just kept repeating, like, our position on Taiwan has not changed. We will support the democratic system, and you know, he just didn't go over the line. Yep. And he kept it measured.
He didn't get drawn into the war
talk. That's
talk.
The best thing. Exactly, that's right.
Yeah.
He's not a hawk. He's proved that already. And even in the press room, when people are pressuring him, he's like, "Hey, settle down." Although he's like, "Settle down." He's got a good voice too, eh? He's got like a lisp or something. He's got something to him. Like, he's gonna be well made. Like,
he's got that welfare talk.
Yeah. He's got something weird behind his tongue or something. You know what I mean? Like, John Howard had it too. He did a bit of you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
He's got it.
It's
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's good that he didn't get drawn into that, because there's already a lot of tension there, and you know, with the media banging on about a lot of the things that happened leading up to this campaign trail, I understand that there was talking points that they were trying to play on with the old fear factor of getting people's votes, but good that he's starting to be diplomatic about the relations there, because, you know, the world's in a shit fight as it is, let alone getting further into a shit fight there with China and whatnot. So yeah, it's going to be very much a watch this space sort of thing, isn't it? But yeah, we'll wait and see what his plans are and what his policy's going to be doing that moving forward. But Dave, what were your thoughts on it? Like, I know you follow it heavily, but
to be honest, not as much. Like, I've tried to take a little bit step back in politics, if I'm honest, just because it's a fucking mind melter. And what's hard in Aussie media in particular, a lot of it's very heavily owned by the Murdoch and News Corp. So it's just really biased. I usually just stick to ABC, because they're pretty, not progressive, but they're pretty centrist at the moment, and just kind of fucking shoot it out. And so I've just been I've been staying away from tabloids, staying away from the papers, really, in that sense. And no, I was always looking forward to, like I said before, the NDIS, ICAC. You know,
that's gonna be interesting when it happens, isn't it?
A change.
Yeah.
Because I think you've seen it, even why I was up for Bill Shorten as well, when he went up against him and ultimately failed, was because they were promising a better reaction to, like what you were saying, with natural disasters.
Yep.
And they wanted to improve Medicare. They wanted to, you know,
look after the people of Australia and not corporations.
Yeah, exactly right. So and again, move a little bit better in the in environmental and stuff as well. So because they're a good medium, I feel. They're not the crazy left party. They're not the crazy right party. Labour's pretty, again, hopefully bringing back some more rights when it comes to penalty rates and bringing up the minimum wage as well. There's some people out there where, again, inflation goes up, but their wages stagnate. Like, we're very lucky that we're not minimum wage workers. But it'd be fucking hard out there if you're a minimum wage worker and penalty rates are gone. Like, it's just, and your services are cut, and your disability is cut.
Something's gonna.
All that stuff just seems so broken. Hey, like.
Yeah, like, we used to be so good. We were like top 10 in the world for our healthcare system. we were I think we were 11th or 14th in the world when it came to anti-corruption as well. Like, which is the sign of a free nation. And now we're in fucking 70s or something. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, we're better than this. I used to brag about how good we were. You know what I mean? And I think we can get back to those days.
Oh, shit, yeah. We've got to get... And the first step there for a lot of those is keeping the politicians honest. Very much so with ICAC and all that. And having Labor in to try and bring back the workers' rights. Like people that, like you said, people that are on minimum wage, just something's got to give shortly because they just can't survive. And the last time Labor was in, they managed to get us out of a recession. With the Kev Rudd, gave that the bailout, so to speak.
A lot of stuff, the stimulus.
Yep, it saved the country and saved our asses. Whereas Labor, who was Liberal, who was supposedly the good economists, just bullshit, have once again got us into a position that Labor have now got to bail us out of, in my opinion. So
I was actually watching a breakdown of just basic statistics of both governments, and since I think we did maybe 3 different periods of each time both sides were in power in the government, because everyone always claims that Liberal has the lower taxes, but when they actually went through it, it wasn't the case at all. It was actually Labor had lower taxes than what Liberals did.
They're old bullshit talking points, man. And
watch them start to cry now. The national debt. They're going to talk about it now. They didn't talk about it for 9 years because they're spending motherfuckers, and now they're going to You're absolutely right, Reese. It's it's literally the opposite.
Yeah.
So
but they're old talking points, and you hear that a lot of the older generation sort of have eat those up and use it, and it comes down to what Dave was saying with the Murdoch media as well. Like, your only news source is those Murdoch controlled media outlet, and they showed it, through this campaign trail as well, that it was very one-sided, and can be very easy to manipulate or use propaganda to twist people's vote in that circumstance. So it's fucking wrong. Cunts need a punch in the head for it.
And what if you can elaborate a little bit more on how important it is, I guess, just getting away from the economy side of things, the importance of the Uluru statement and the having the flags in Parliament and moving the country in more of a direction, like in a better.
So even I won't too much
now as well. Labour are also the party of the Republic, so they are. Do you know what I mean? I do believe they really fucking mean it.
Yeah, and so the significance and the importance there is having traditional owners have a say in Parliament, right? So that in itself is massive, right? Because over the years there's been a lot of just tokenistic bridge building, I suppose you'd say. I'm trying to find the right word, but so this is why I need Scott. Can't function without it.
The justification of it all.
Was that like the first step, acceptance?
What's that? Sorry,
he just accepted that he can't function without alcohol.
No, I didn't say that. I just said that I can't function on here without it.
I know what you mean. Kind of empty promises that just kind of keep people happy.
Yeah,
and just
was,
like, here. Yeah.
There's the bridging the gap program and the thought process there, and a lot of politicians, companies, a lot of people just use these significant Indigenous days and Indigenous people as a tokenistic way of getting either votes or making themselves look good in the public eye, or with if it's a hot topic at the time. So to commit to something like that is huge because it will continue on after their term. Having the flags sitting up there next to the Australian flag is just a very, very strong message. I know there's been a lot of backlash and bullshit, but you know, fuck, grow up, cunts. You know, like, how long do we have to continue having this argument that we recognise Indigenous people as the traditional landowners, and we want their input, and we want to acknowledge them, you know, and move forward. Let's be symbolic in that message. There will, but let's be symbolic in that message. And Albo's done that by throwing those flags up behind him because it's
unapologetic.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
They're fucking up there. Get used to it.
Yep. Yeah. So, you know, it's but it's aggravating as well to a degree because a few of the comments that I've seen is, do they need their own flag because they're not really Australian, so we've got to recognise that. Like,
oh god,
yeah, man. So that, as much as I try, and just ignore that one just aggravates me because
they just it's an ignorance. They don't understand. They're like, well, we've got the Australian flag's our flag, right? That's the Australian flag.
Yeah.
They can't comprehend that. What it means.
They can't put themselves in the shoes.
Like, I've seen someone someone said today, because they're talking about the Captain Cook statue. Did you see that one in Cairns?
Yep.
Come down. But they're talking about, if it wasn't for him, there wouldn't be in Australia. You know what I mean? Like, they can't comprehend. Like, he invented Australia, this guy.
Fucking like a Lego set. He fucking got off his boat and built a car. Like, yeah, it's...
Then got axed in Hawaii, but that's another story. Yeah.
But look, the fact that they...
Was he with ScoMo or something, wasn't he?
Oh, no. It's where both guys went to die. That's actually quite poetic, right?
Yeah.
Because that was the end for both of them. Oh, and there's the beer out now. It's like, no more coffees. No, but you're absolutely right.
It's, I don't know. When I saw that, his speech and the flags there, and I thought, fucking good. Hopefully this is going to be a step forward. And Indigenous people can start to be heard a bit more. Or their voice being equal. That's important. Because
Absolutely.
at the moment, as much as people might want to argue it, they're not. And I'll go back to that fire season where, at our last big one, where, you know, traditional landowners were stepping up and saying, "Listen, we can help with this," and they were just disregarded.
But think of that fire season, how important that was to the election. I think people remember that shit.
Oh fuck, man! There's people
I think that was a huge part of it.
Still haven't, you know, they're still homeless. There's still so much that could be done.
They raised so much money. Where the fuck did that money go? Metallica were sending millions over and all those. Go Metallica. Where's that money gone? How are there homeless people from fires in Australia? Fuck.
But even stepping away from those fundraising mobs, even the government, you know, the government assistance and the red tape.
Pork barreling.
Yeah,
like giving relief money to certain areas that you need the votes in.
Yep.
More, and not in areas where we're never going to win there, so there's no point in helping them out. Like, it's what Barilaro got in trouble for in even Monaro. But anyway,
yeah. So it's, you know, as I said early on, I think the Liberal government has done a shit ass job, and I'm glad that there's going to be a bit of change and a bit of progressive.
What's new? Am I right?
Am I right, everybody? Easy peasy, Albanese. Nah, good on him, mate. Nah, but here's another thing. He's in now. They're in now. Fucking do the shit. Hold their feet to the fire. Honeymoon period can be over as soon as all the votes are counted and shit like that. I like the first day shit. I like the, as soon as he wins the election, he's coming out even stronger. I love that. It's not only radical language in some of the changes he wants to do, but it's measured radical language. And he's trying to bring everyone with him. he was talking about working with the Liberals, the Nationals, and all parties. So I think it's good. I think that's what people want to hear. I think hopefully he's got a clean slate. I think people like Albo. You know what I mean? I don't think he's not a horrible smirky cunt. But again, now he's got to do it.
He started from the bottom, now he's here. So.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. Fucking literally like a long neck drinking mother. Did you see him drinking long necks in the park with Briggs?
No, but that's fucking awesome.
It's so funny that. Yeah, we'll put it up now. But they both had a large ear, right? And Briggs said something like, when white people drink in parks, it's called a picnic. But when black people drink in parks, it's called trouble. And they're both like, You know,
it's fucking right there.
I love how he talks, how he tells a story and all that kind of shit. And he's an example of a battler. You know, so, you know, that's what I used to love about Australians love someone who's like, you know what I mean? Like, has a go.
Yeah.
And been able, here's another thing I think kicked the Liberals out was trying to fucking buy a house in Australia in the last fucking year and a half, 2 years. Like, you know what I mean? They they fucked it.
Well, that was so dangerous as well, that last fucking offer that they made for people dipping into their super. Like, I know that there was probably a lot of people that their eyes lit up and they thought this is my opportunity, but holy fucking shit, that's not fixing the problem. That's putting
fucking people
a fly screen fucking band-aid.
That's fucking people's retirement to make a buck now. Man.
Absolutely.
How about you guys bail yourselves out with that money that's supposed to be there
for your retirement, for working for your entire fucking life, and see to support our economy.
The dangerous thing is people won't see the effect of that until that time. You know, they might have their house, they might have an asset and those sorts of things, but they're still got to make the payments on that too. And with the economy,
government loans aren't as bad. You know what I mean? And government, they aren't as bad, but I don't know. The climate that they fostered, you know, and the things they did to make this happen. But I don't know what Labour are going to do to fix it. They say they've got things they're going to do to fix it.
Sure.
Are they gonna? What are they gonna do to fix it? Can you put the fucking cat back in the box now, or is this just? Is it? Did they stop the bleeding? Like,
I don't know. I'd like to. It'd be good to
interest rates.
It'd be good to get an economist on to ask that.
Or just like a real estate agent, because they're the ones that know what's happening, because they know how much to fucking.
We should.
They're the ones selling them.
When I run into me old mate Dan Rapaccioli again, mate, I'll just ask him to come on the show and he can talk to us about his.
Yeah, he'll need his own camera because you're going to need a wide shot to get both of you cunts in there, man.
Nah, he'll be.
Dan Rapapoli's 7 foot tall.
Rapaccioli. Fucking hell. There I am with the shit names again.
Dan Guacamole, man.
Yeah. Who doesn't enjoy a bit of guacamole?
Oh, man, extra $2.
Yeah, mate. Fuck yeah.
Every time.
Every burrito for show.
Just had a mint slice delivery.
Oh man,
you get fucking looked after.
Fucking oath I do.
Looked after. Hey?
Damn right.
I'm not even going to attempt to call for something because I'll fucking get punched in the side.
Go on, do it.
I'll be the next.
Bring me a mint slice.
Be the next fucking Johnny Depp Amber Heard ghost, mate.
She's making a dessert pizza now.
There'll be a shit in your bed, mate.
There fucking will be.
Lose a finger. He nearly cut his own finger off. You know? In the fucking weekend.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Man,
she's a fuckwit.
Yeah. How about the other side of shit? So the Liberal Party loser, right? Their answer now is to go with Peter Dutton. Peter Dutton is all but was he announced officially as the leader of the opposition now?
The last I heard there was between him. I can't remember the other guy.
I think it'll be Dutton.
Yeah, probably.
It's most likely Dutton. And then the Nationals apparently are talking about whether they switch around Barnaby. But the Nationals didn't do actually that bad on the National side of things. They didn't. It was really Liberal seats that got fucked. So I don't know how. I'd say Barnaby will still stay there, but I don't think he'll be deputy of the opposition.
No.
So
no, he'll just get someone else pregnant again, and then he'll be moved off.
Hey, Barnaby. 8 kids, Barnaby. Wasn't it 8 or 10?
Joey John.
Barnaby
Joey
or
John.
Bar Baby?
Oh, the barn baby maker. The barn baby maker. Yeah. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Well, you remember that?
Man.
How good was that, man?
Barnaby, man. Wow.
Barn Baby Man.
What a fuckwit.
Yeah, what a giant, what a red-faced cunt, eh?
I just hate looking at him. He's just got one of them heads that you just.
But the ladies love him. Like, what can we say?
Well, yeah, I won't say what I was going to say. But yeah, no, he's just a tosser.
He can get the fuck out.
He can get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, Barnaby, get the fuck out.
But Dutton, what a horrible fucking ex-cop potato-looking motherfucker.
He looks like a dildo.
He is an evil fuck, man. He's gonna be the worst. He's like, he'll be worse than ScoMo, I feel like, except for he won't be as powerful, so he won't notice it. He might be a good opposition leader because all he's gonna do, is obstruct and talk. He has no fucking shame. Oh mate, I'm telling you now, Dutton's gonna be bad.
But Morrison didn't have any shame either. They're just bad.
But he smirked his way through it and he tried to talk and he'd be like this and that and this and that. Dutton will fucking flat out just say the wrong thing in a monotone voice and that's it.
Yeah,
just brutal.
And he's going to be brutal. He's going to be brutal, but he's not going to have any responsibility at the moment.
He's going to be shock value and that's it.
Oh man, they're putting him in there to kind of test the waters, I feel like, because he is so brutal, man. We'll figure it out. We'll find out.
Do you think they'll try and use him to rile up their base, so to speak?
I don't know, because the base
hateful...
are roiled up.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
To do it even
they're
more,
gone further to the right than they've ever been.
But if they've got him there and he's saying some hateful shit, right? That definitely flies with their base. It's going to rile them up even more. So he does that for 3 years.
But all those base they all got fucked.
Oh yeah.
All those right wingers lost in the election. Do you know what I mean? The tilt should have been to more.
Pauline got fucking railed, didn't she?
Is she definitely gone?
I think so. I haven't checked.
Because I heard we're still waiting and all, but projections are that she's out. And fucking that'd be awesome. But you look in Sydney and all those real more conservative Republican seats, they went teal. Like, people kind of, I think the Conservatives don't, over here at least, the Conservatives, the main, I don't think they want to be like America. I think they want to quietly get shit done. I don't think they want to be loud fucking blowhards, But
wait, with that being said, though, you gotta give some sort of recognition to old Pants Down, because she's been, like, her integrity towards her cause, man. Like, how long has she been in One Nation for in politics?
Old Pants Down.
Yeah, remember Pauline Pants Down? They did that song.
She's still going, man.
I don't like it. No, yeah. Never did. Never will.
Oh, fuck me, dude.
She's still on. You should check her out on Twitter.
I was trying to listen to what you were saying, and all I could think was fucking Pants.
No, but
I didn't
seriously,
put it together straight away.
When did that song come out? That was like, what, 96, 97?
Pauline Hanson moved from Australia because it was too Asian here. And she went to England. That happened.
Well, she was
moved out of the country.
trying to bring in the white.
And then she came back because she was like, nah, there's Asians there too.
Yeah.
She's mad.
She was trying to reintroduce the fucking White Australia policy, man. Like,
yes, like,
the most racist
she's trying
shit.
to bring the NRA to Australia. Remember they caught her on fucking video trying to, like, we need our own Second Amendment. Like, she's mental. Like, John Howard and all came out and was like,
this could be the perfect segue.
Oh,
you know what? Do we need a piss? Are we
alright.
good?
No, let's get into it.
All right, everybody. So as
Second
still early
Amendment.
days, it's so early days at the moment because things are changing all the time. The death count just today for us went up from like 10 to 14 to 17 to as now is it 21 kids?
Pretty sure, yeah. 18 children, 21 dead.
I thought it was 19 kids. The last.
Oh yeah,
time I
maybe.
checked.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah.
But and then there was I think 3 or 4 other like teachers who died and people on the scene. Lads.
That's bad.
Salvador Ramos, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is the fella's name? 18-year-old high schooler.
Salvatore.
On his 18th birthday. Salvatore. Yeah. On his 18th birthday, went out and got, I think, 2 rifles and a handgun on his 18th birthday and a heap of magazines. And he was able just to do that. Not allowed drink, though. Not in America. You're not allowed drink, motherfucker.
Nah.
Shot his grandmother. Last I heard, his grandmother was, she's still alive or whatever.
Is
Didn't
she?
survive?
So I
in
heard
the
that she was
hospital?
dead, but that was
I know
when
he
I
shot
spoke
her,
to you this
definitely.
morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucked, man.
Babies, man.
Year 2 to year 4. So that's what, ages 7 to 10?
Yeah.
That's fucking disgusting.
I
man.
said to Rin today, thank fuck I live in a country where we can send our little bloke to daycare and school when the time comes. I don't have to worry about some fuckwit going and shooting him. And the only response that's heard is we need more guns. Give the teachers guns. Honestly, I'm so
there's
fucking-
been
It's
some
just
voices.
frustrating,
I'm just
eh? Like,
so sick and tired of hearing that argument, and I shouldn't be angry. Like, people can sit there and go, "Oh, this is not your country. You shouldn't be worried about it." But fuck you, cunt, because
Humans.
these are kids again. If Sandy Hook wasn't bad enough, these are kids again. This is
Same
just,
number now
This
as well.
is just happening time and time and time again. And your bullshit argument of more guns, giving people higher caliber, bigger magazines, all that fucking bullshit is not working. When are you going to pull your fucking fingers out of your ass?
bro,
Drop the bullshit pride to the side. Right? You're not hoarding weapons to overthrow your government. You had your opportunity to do that and you did fuck all. You're a fucking bitch if you think that is why you've got weapons, right? You've got weapons because you think they're cool and because you're fucking cowards. If your first response to any situation is to pull a gun out and try and shoot somebody, for any altercation, you're a bitch. And you need to fucking pull your head in. You're not the greatest country in the world. And this is a perfect opportunity of showing it because they're kids. They're fucking kids. And yet again, they've been shot. Like, you can argue that it's a gun-free zone or whatever. None of those arguments fly because in so many cases, in so many circumstances, these killings have happened. There was one last week where the security guard, fired back and was still shot because the guy had body armor bought legally from an online store that promotes the Second Amendment. So shut the fuck up with you.
That's right. There was a guy with a gun there.
And that didn't
But
work.
he
It didn't happen.
He didn't have the fucking bulletproof armor.
No.
He
And
wasn't.
he turned around and fucking
another
killed
thing,
him.
if you put
he
in
needed
an
a
armed
higher
person
caliber
at this-
round to get through the armor. That would
But
have
that's the
fixed it.
first. Think about that. If these schools then have an armed guard, who's the first person the shooter is going to go for? They're going to kill the armed guard. Then you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
the idea is that this is planned and it's easy for them to get these weapons. And
The fact that on his 18th birthday he could walk in and get firearms that can, shoot multiple rounds within a minute. I'm not sure of what I'm assuming it
was an AR-15
style
weapon.
weapon. So it's probably got a 30 round mag that can drop that 30 round mag in under a minute, right? So that's potentially 30 lives lost in under a minute. And he's walked into our equivalent of a supermarket, like a Woolworths or something, and bought that off the shelf. As many rounds as he wants. No background check, no license, no, nothing.
But
would-
even
that
the
would make-
statistics, though, like the number of gun related violence or shootings or whatever in America just in the last 12 months has doubled.
That's what I mean, man. So an
I
altercation.
don't know. Did you see that when we were talking earlier today, man? There's been 212 this year.
School shootings.
This year, dude.
That doesn't account for the ones that I
It's
mentioned.
not even halfway through the year
at
yet.
the start. Like if you have a car accident with someone and the motherfucker pulls a gun on you, right? Or I don't know. It's just the culture.
It's a big mix of things, man. Because
I shouldn't be this
I
angry,
told
but
you
I am.
before. Remember, I told you before that I'd given up. I used to battle with Americans about guns for years, man. But I gave up after Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
Because they're 20 kids, the average age of which was 6. And then even thinking now, like that's Maisie's turning 6 this year.
Yeah, man.
If they didn't do it then, to me that was such a like what is gonna do it? Like what? And I always there's multifaceted. It's not one thing or another thing. There are diehards that fundamentalist constitutionalists in America with their Second Amendment because they believe they should own a gun. Then you've got the fear, the scared as fuck people. Because here's the god honest truth, dudes. The fear in America now. If I lived in America, because of the way America is, I'd probably want to have a gun on me too.
And that's
because of America.
Yeah.
That's the revolving door, isn't it? Because
but I'm in fear, right? But I'm supposed to be in fear. I'm a member of American society. As soon as you put your hand up as someone who's like, okay, I'm going to be a politician, I'm going to be an elected representative to do what's right for the interest of my people, your fear then is you're a coward. I think you're an absolute coward when it's your job. People have elected you to represent their interest and their safety and to make those decisions.
when you still do nothing. And see, this is the thing. Like to fix this problem, it's not going to happen.
And corrupt, by the way, as well. That's the last of it.
Absolutely.
Because you've got your gun lobbies and your think tanks and your super PACs over there that are extremist, and that's so it's multifaceted, but it all comes down to fear and cowardice. Fear. I can't blame scared Americans with their guns now. I can't, because now I nearly wanted to give my fucking kid a gun. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I don't fucking. Where are you safe?
But
you're not safe in your church, in your synagogue. You're not safe going to buy a fucking birthday for your 3-year-old, a birthday cake for your 3-year-old, and a fellow was shot dead. You're not safe if you're an old lady.
This is where that argument falls apart. Like they say, you need more guns. They've got more guns than they ever have had before, and it's the most dangerous place that it has ever been.
I honestly couldn't think of anywhere worse to live right now.
Oh,
like,
there's a handful. In the Western world,
in the Western world, like the whole like the American dream and all that sort of shit. Like, I would never want to live there. Like,
no abortion now. No. Isn't that all that effort into banning abortions? The pro-lifers are just pro-birthers because they don't give a fuck about the kids in that country. They give a fuck about the healthcare and well-being and child
thoughts and prayers
of any of those kids.
Thoughts and prayers.
Do you know what the crazy thing is? The people that are pro-life and that are getting rid of abortion are the people that want the guns too.
That's what I mean. Like
it's so contradictory.
It's the 50 senators led by Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
Did you watch that video of Steve Kerr's press conference?
Who's he the coach for?
So he's the coach for the Warriors basketball team.
Mate. He gave one of the most passionate fucking slamming the table.
Did you watch it, Vinno?
Tears.
No, I haven't. No.
Watch it, dude.
You should watch him.
Dude. I'll watch
because he gave an impassionate cry because he knew he's like, I'm coming out here. I'm here to talk, to give our thoughts and prayers and to let everybody know that we're going to have a minute of silence. But he's just said he was sick and tired of it. I'm paraphrasing it. Go watch it. Like I don't know who this dude is. I don't watch American sports.
Hey, honestly, if any
American he used to play for the Bulls. Back
if
in
any
the
American is not
dude,
sick and tired of it, they need to fucking punch themselves now. Because it's just
Joe Biden talking from the heart out there, saying we need change again. Joe Biden can talk like that. He's lost 2 little kids, a little baby girl and his son, and so he can talk about loss and all that. But ultimately, and same as Obama. Gave some of the best speeches Obama has ever made at post-gun shootings and at the for Sandy Hook, and then when he went to Newtown, and then when he had them all together to try and pass legislation.
Yep.
but you can never get gun legislation passed in that country past those 50 senators. And I can't believe
this is the thing. It doesn't have to be.
Every time it happens, I'm devastated. But their numbness is rubbing off on me.
Yeah, but and this is the thing. It doesn't have to be an all-out take the guns away, right? It's going to take years and years for this to
give guns to the right people.
Well, no, not even that, man. Restrict who you fucking give guns to start with, right? Because
give them to the right people.
Yeah, but don't just give them to people. Like
I don't mean physically just hand them to them, but
don't allow
licenses, practical and theory
right?
tests, training,
and a time
regulations.
Period. The biggest thing is a time period, right? So, nobody should be able to, in the heat of a moment, walk into a shop, buy a gun, and walk out because they're still in the heat of the moment and they're going to shoot someone, right? But if you've got a certain time period or a cooling off period from purchasing a firearm to receiving it, something like that, then you've given the opportunity for things to calm down, for one. Then if you threw in a background check on there, you've got 2 levels of cover there, right? So it's like the old Swiss cheese model. If you keep throwing pieces of cheese in there, people, if they still genuinely want to have a gun, and it happens here, if you want a gun, you can go through the right processes and you can have a gun. We've got more guns in this country now than when we did before Port Arthur, right? But we don't have these fucking mass shootings. We don't have any shootings. The only shootings we have, and this is where the other argument falls down, the only shootings that have happened are between criminal groups. And those groups aren't going out and shooting innocent people because they're going to fucking draw even more attention to themselves. It just doesn't happen. They're using those weapons on each other. Now, you're never going to get rid of that. I'm not denying, I'm not arguing. You're never going to be able to get rid of it.
It's about making it hard to do.
That's right.
You're never going to make a jail that's inescapable. We have jails that are inescapable, but we make it fucking as hard as we can for people to get out of them. We regulate it. It doesn't mean like, oh, someone escaped, guess we don't have jails anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's not how you regulate. It's not, and you're absolutely right. And I think they even know that, of course.
Yep.
The harder it is for you to get a gun. And people say, oh, but if you really want a gun, you get a gun. Sorry, 18-year-olds? You know how hard it is, an 18-year-old like that, to get a gun? Because criminals, they can get guns, but they're not going to risk selling some fucking gun to an 18-year-old.
Fuck no.
That's some getting caught shit. You know what I mean? What would happen in Australia? Okay, we're a perfect example. If you were caught selling an AR-15 style rifle to an 18-year-old in Australia and importing guns and stuff like that, what would happen?
Right to jail.
Oh
man, the repercussions.
I would be surprised if you didn't get 15 to 20 years in jail for that.
But it just,
like, it's deterrent. You're going to be very careful, even in the black market, on who you let get guns. It's not worth it. It is just not worth it.
But even
and like you're saying, background checks. The Republicans talk about it's a mental health problem. Okay, well, how about a good healthcare system?
Yeah, absolutely.
But if it's a mental health problem, but don't want to do anything about it, still.
If it's a mental health problem, why are you still giving these people access to firearms so easily? Because if they do have a recognised mental health problem, there is no laws there that prohibit that mentally ill person or that person who is struggling from going and buying a fucking gun. So that argument falls apart straight away.
We have the same levels of mental health issues. We really do. In this country, we do. The difference is we do not have the easy access. That's all it is. But they know that, dude. The whole argument over there is so many prongs involved in it. It's sad. It's so sad. It's devastating. And because we had and again, we'll go back to giving conservatives a pat on the back. Yep. John Howard had the courage to go against his base.
Yep.
He had the courage to fucking do it. He had and Jacinda Ardern in fucking New Zealand. We had a mass shooter, had to leave the country to do it, a mass shooter. Tarrant. He had to go to New Zealand to do that. And that was
straight away there was reform. There was reform.
And everyone know, like I'm sure there's a couple of naysayers, but Jacinda Ardern did it, and boom. You know what I mean? It's just courage. It's courage. And I don't know. They won't do it. And I hope every time it happens, I'm like, they've got to do something. And you see impassionate pleas from some politicians, Democrats. I wish it was more. It wasn't a Democrat and Republican issue, because that's what polarizes us so much over there. I wish it wasn't. I wish this was a. It used to be that kids were like, all right, we'll all get together. Like everyone agrees pedophiles are bad because it's kids. You know what I mean? It's kids involved. Everybody get together.
But like Reece touched on before with the abortion argument there at the moment, where they're pro-birth, they're not pro-life, they're pro-birth, because if those same people, all they're offering is thoughts and prayers, they're not the ones advocating for reform or anything like that. They're the ones that are screaming thoughts and prayers, give them more guns. The crazy argument about giving teachers the fucking gun, it's like, there is light at the end of the tunnel though. Because if abortion does become illegal, there is a light. You can just send your kids to school, same result. Yeah, and they won't care.
Yeah,
they won't care. It's I don't know. It's just so fucking backwards, and as I said, like, I shouldn't be that angry, but when it's kids, it's defenseless
and
kids getting shot up.
It's okay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They're just fucking people, dude.
Oh, absolutely they are, mate. It doesn't matter, When you hear about mass shootings of any sort over there, as much as
it's not even shocking anymore.
No, because we've become somewhat desensitized, but
which is wrong.
Yeah, it is. But that fucking happens so often.
But it's true. It's sad. We almost shouldn't let it. I mean, I think we're gonna hit even lower, because I feel like in the next coming days we're really gonna get, because this is Wednesday night, everybody, right now, just so you know. By the time this is released, we might actually hear some of the horrific, like, because again, there are a lot of kids shot as well that survived, that are coming out blood spattered. We don't know if he went into one room and just executed a whole classroom in front of them. We don't know if he ran around and it was the true horror. We don't even fucking know now. We seen pictures of those people outside waiting, dude. Like waiting to see if it was one of their kids. Like, I think the brutality of it all is still gonna come.
Yep.
We don't even have a proper look at this psycho either. I mean, we had some people at first it was like, oh look, they're not sending us our best, Mexico, fucking this is an immigration policy, and then we find out he's a Texas local. And then there was all those, it's a trans person, this is a trans terrorist, and then we found out that was a fake news story that it was just some Instagram person was like, I don't even fucking live there, and people are sending pictures.
Yeah.
So, but now it might be, we don't know what an ideology it is, and really it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
No. That's the big issue
the extremist ideology, think you can kill people to get your way. We're giving into these cunts by allowing them to keep doing it.
Yeah. And not doing
We're
anything.
Not giving into them
it.
by banning guns. We're regulating the fucks.
It's just, I don't know. It's just a
It's like it's a broken record. Like, how many times have we already spoken about gun control on this podcast?
Oh, dude, we have to just not sometimes.
Do you know?
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I feel like, I'm not even going to bring this up.
Well, the last one we didn't. We didn't, because we were doing other shit.
We could have, though. The last one we could have talked about. One we didn't talk about at all was the supermarket shooting.
Yeah, in Buffalo.
Replacement guns.
That's what I was talking
about. I mean, we spoke about it, but we didn't record speaking about it. But.
And that, like, again, that came from a fundamentalist aspect. And they had access to the weaponry like that.
That was the one with
old lady shot to death.
The security guard.
That's right. Yeah.
So in that case, there was somebody there with a gun that didn't fucking.
It didn't matter.
No,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's so just
backwards, man.
Yeah, it's you just want to throttle some of these cunts sometimes, just to fucking try and get the point across, because the walls are up. They're not even considering change. Not even considering the opportunity of trying something different, and if it fails, revert back to the status quo. They just don't even want to discuss that. And the fact that mentality is there just goes to show that this is a revolving door.
Yeah,
And
like
it's just-
another thing too, like I guess, which is obviously not I suppose probably not a huge issue to really worry about. But I mean, I guess for economy wise it is, but like I know COVID's made a massive hit on tourism and travel and stuff like that. But obviously the world's starting to open back up now. Like I've already seen friends that are overseas now.
New Zealand's open now.
Yeah. But like, how does this sort of stuff has to have an impact on people wanting to go to America? You know, you talk about fear. What kind of person's going to go on holiday in the United States and be scared for their life
because
the
they know,
entire time?
but they know it's
Do you know what I
kids
mean?
getting shot. They know the talking point there is, oh, I'm not going to a school. Like how
But
fucked,
they do.
How
The
fucked
biggest
up is that?
mass
Do you
shooting was
know
like
that you can
at a
probably walk
fucking
down the
concert,
street and you
wasn't
might
it?
be sending your kids to.
Sorry, I missed that.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. What did you say, Dave?
Oh no, it's not just in schools. It's on transport. It's at the biggest shooting they've had. I think it was like 50 people at that country western concert in Vegas.
Yeah, but
They're just at a festival.
the thought,
it could be anywhere.
the thought process is that they feel that they're safe because this is happening a lot in schools. That's the ones that are coming up on the media. But
That was the
Reece
one
said,
that,
there was 200 something fucking mass shootings just this year alone.
Yeah.
288.
That was the one that Eminem did the song about, right? That country.
Yeah.
Maybe
The Darkness,
man.
or whatever it's called.
That dude locked himself in
the hotel room.
in the hotel and shot
Yeah.
from with a rifle.
Yeah.
But and here's another thing. It's like we like to talk about it being an ideological thing, and sometimes it is, like that Great Replacement guy. But sometimes it can be just as simple as Dylan Harris and Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, the Columbine kids, were just bullied.
Yeah.
So they had easy access to the guns and they did it. I have an extremist ideology, so I have easy access to guns and I do it. I fucking hate whatever it is. I'm a fucking psycho and want to go to a Batman fucking movie and shoot up a whole cinema. I'm gonna do it. I want to shoot up a whole concert. I'm gonna do it.
It's that ease of access to these tools.
So easy.
Just to do. I mean, comes down to the methods as well. I know the talking point for a lot of the homosexuals, they call them, is, you know, look at the UK with their knife crime and all that. You can't go through and kill 20-something kids with a knife without somebody fucking taking you down. There's just not the ease. There's not the ability to do that. Like there's another bullshit argument. Like
think of how hard it would be
ease
for
of
someone who's
getting
18
hold
to
of
do
something and being able to do that much damage to somebody so quickly. But yeah, like you said, somebody 18 doing
like a psychotic 18-year-old, like, because everyone's always like, oh, we got to see if he can claim insanity. It's like, no, he's insane. Like, I don't care what question. Like, here's another thing. Like,
what kind of sane person murders a bunch of children in a school?
Yeah, mate.
There's nothing sane about that action.
He is batshit.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's 18. There's no way in Australia that an 18-year-old batshit loser kid is going to be able to approach black market gun sellers in this country. You know what I mean? Because you have to either know somebody, have an in and all. It's just so easy for any psycho dickhead to get a real good gun and have access to real good upgrades to third-party internet providers and all. And I don't know what's going to happen, because ultimately access is going to become easier worldwide with 3D printing machines. So I wonder if will it then come to culture as well? Because one day, crazy fucking kids are going to have 3D printers and access to weapons in Australia.
Yep.
How are we gonna... Are we then, because our mental health is similar, are we then gonna start to see these come up in our country once access becomes easier? I wonder. Obviously we're a fair bit away, and access to even 3D printers of that level for a long time are not going to be in the hands of easily affordable. But
yeah,
again,
Man,
neither were fucking mobile phones.
I am genuinely concerned for what life in this world is going to be like. Just the time that we've spent on this planet now, again. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's life going to be like 30 years from now?
That's a very boomer comment, but yeah.
No, but in serious,
yeah.
Look at how much things have changed even since we've been at school. Like, I would hate to be a kid today, man.
Oh, at the same time, it's better in some ways. I think it's less violent nowadays. I think kids are more computer nerdy than they are going out and fighting behind Tommy Tuckers. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that less kids are out there smoking and shit. Like, I feel like the internet social bullying is going to be devastating. And the fact that you can have,
already is.
But I don't think the violence is there.
I was talking about
You know what I mean?
a person at work about this just yesterday morning. When we were at school, I mean, I suppose the internet stuff sort of started while we were still in high school, but as a whole, if you were
we didn't have camera phones.
No, but if you were a person that got bullied at school, when you went home, that would switch off.
Yeah.
And you'd have a break.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you'd wake up every day and go, fuck, mum, I don't want to go to school today. And you'd hate going to school because you're getting bullied. But at least you have that relief that when school's done, you can go home and you get a break.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No, they can't escape it. And
they can't.
We had MSN Messenger. That was the only kind of...
That's what I mean. That's what I meant when I said
it
started, you know, when we were in school. But like you said,
but I mean,
there wasn't
nothing. That's nothing.
No, that's nothing.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you didn't want to go on MSN, you just didn't log on. You know what I mean? People couldn't message you if you weren't on there.
And it wasn't public. You only couldn't talk to your friends. You had to accept. But now, if you do something stupid in class or if you, whatever, that's on video now forever.
Yep, and it's on the internet.
It's on the internet. And people can create sock accounts and they can come after you and they can fuck with you. But I do think in some ways we are a lot better. And like when we were kids, if you were getting bullied and all, really, there was a little bit, but it was kind of like there was no big giant anti-bullying campaigns like there is now. Like I do feel like that you were kind of told to harden up a bit and to fight back and all, but I think now we're talking even about adults being depressed a lot more and stuff. I do think there are avenues for people to go, and I think it's okay to be different types of people now. Like, lads, let's be honest. If you were gay at our high school,
oh fuck, you would have copped it. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We've seen instances of it.
Yeah,
we know, and we've talked. You know what I mean? It's not good.
But that wasn't just our school either. That was that timeline.
The era,
so
that's what I'm talking about.
We have moved forward very much. So in
haven't said that. A lot of depression still, right?
Yeah.
Or is it that we're just recognizing that there's a lot of depression now? I don't know. Whereas before we might not have.
It's a tough one, isn't it? That like, was it worse, or is it just more recognised? Do more people actually speak about it now?
Well, that's the other thing. The internet has broadened our reach to these sorts. You know, before you might not have known unless you watched the news or a particular news outlet about, you know, suicide rates, say in WA, something like that. Whereas now we're exposed to all of this information, so it's probably been there all along, just hasn't been as prevalent. The old ignorance of bliss type thing, and those walls are being broken down now, which is good. It's the discussion that needs to have about you know, mental health and even moving forward within industry and the recognition of mental health with employees and the benefit of having a workforce that has a bit of time off for mental health reasons, and it's recognised in a lot of sick leave and stuff as well now.
It's part of our healthcare system now.
It is, absolutely. It's a massive step forward, but at the same time, I can see what you're...
We're still not utilising it, right?
Yeah, look, we can't be perfect.
No, everyone's going
moving in the right direction, and we'll get there eventually.
Same as they're bringing in the leave for domestic violence too.
Yep. Yeah, and that's another huge thing and huge topic that's becoming more prevalent, been talked about a lot more. Absolutely needs, which is why it's I think there's
But
been
that's
so
what I
much
mean.
public interest in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case because this is the first time, I suppose, that it's been live streamed, or you can view it in a courtroom to see this story. So we've moved forward, and we're a lot better off now. But I can understand exactly what you're saying, Reese. Like, we went from Dave drop kicking Nokia 3315s over the fucking goalpost to having what version of iPhone now? Like,
Yeah.
in a very short period of time. And the capability of those phones and the technology alone is huge just in our lifetime. We were playing Sega Master Systems and Mega Drive and all that when we were kids. But now you've got, PlayStation 5 out and the capacity and capability of those.
And we're
systems.
bored with it.
Yeah. So
We're ready for the next thing now with VR.
yeah,
and all,
all the time.
we're over entertained. That's the big thing.
And entitled.
But what do you think about, because our dads, unless you went to war or had a traumatic experience, like a lot of people say, oh, kids, they don't get to see those type of things anymore because there was a lot of us aren't going to, unless you're in Ukraine or the Middle East or parts of Africa, you don't see that type of, or parts
I
of
think
kids,
in America.
Look, I think kids.
Yeah. No, but you don't live to tell the tale.
I think kids have got
That's not a winning situation.
No.
Kids have got a
but
big
you know
enough
what I mean?
battle on their own. I think, like, yes, it's good for them to be aware of what's happening around them, but
I think they see more.
They might do.
I think a kid
might
today,
do.
right now, can watch a cartel cut someone's head off. I think a kid today now can go watch a lynching in fucking Somalia. I think, because of the internet. So I actually think that we're gone too far in the defensive and the numbness of this. If this happened in the 70s, what just happened in Texas, and it was in the papers, like the Lockerbie bombing and stuff, people would read about it and it would be shocking.
Yep.
And,
And it would be what everyone talked about for ages.
you saying
But
that
now
too.
it's like every day.
How
we
many
gotta have
people
something.
do you know, whether they're a close friend or an acquaintance or just someone you worked with? I can guarantee you every single one of us knows a person that's always got like fucked up gory videos to share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got no interest in watching any of that shit. Not interested.
I've always.
I'd rather just not and look at happy
If
shit.
something happens, I'll watch it. Because it's always, since I was growing up, I seen the Iraq and Afghanistan war, and that made me feel like, holy shit, this is important. I need to pay attention. If you know what I mean? So
I look at it this way. I've seen enough gory shit firsthand that I'd prefer to watch a funny video.
Yeah.
If I've got,
But
the,
I'm not.
if I've got the option
well,
of
the
watching
reason I
something
would
else.
watch a funny video is not the same reason why I would watch.
I know what you're saying. You're using it for
An Israeli reporter getting shot,
yeah.
or a Palestinian reporter getting shot in Israel.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes, because we're in, unfortunately, a time where you cannot believe what you're reading. Nobody will believe what they're reading unless there's video of it.
Yep.
Like, no elections happened. No.
That
we
being
have
said,
video
though,
footage. Yeah.
videos can be doctored.
Yes.
Well, not so much doctored, but like they might only video certain parts, so you don't get full context. So it's still not 100%
chop and
believable. You
change.
know what I mean?
I do it all the time. Just
Yeah,
for
but
hours.
but if you want to, if we didn't have video footage of what was happening in Gaza or in the Ukraine, I feel like we'd let it happen. I feel like through history, and in some cases we still are in Gaza.
Well, it
and
spikes.
parts of the world.
It spikes action like you're
Vietnam.
saying. Yeah, I was
What
just about
happened
to
when
say.
people seen what happened in Vietnam?
I was just about to say Vietnam, and it was the first war that was actively recorded, and the change and the outcry there. Absolutely, it should be those, and not
But
so
that's
much
what
gory
took-
videos. Yeah, it took that holy fuck the shock.
That's the height of gore.
Yeah.
The Vietnam War. If that's burnt
I'm
babies, that's kids
Yeah.
with no skin on their back. You know, like.
Those sorts of videos, absolutely, yeah. I'm not saying that I'll go out and actively watch it, but that does spark. They do have a place that does spark action, and it does get people. It plays on people's emotions, and that's the biggest thing to get people motivated is to get anger out of them or sadness, and that sparks change to a degree, unless you're American.
They don't give a fuck.
I shouldn't be broad spectrum all of it. There is a lot that are advocating for change and a lot that are angry about what's happening.
It's all around the
what did
world,
Steve
though.
Kerr say in that thing? He said there's 50 people stopping what 90% of the country have voted they want changed.
Yeah.
50 people for an entire population of, well, not entire, but 90%.
It's a slim election.
What's 90% of the population in America?
That's a
Maybe
lot of people.
260 or 70 million, isn't it?
Yeah. So 50 people are deciding what that many people are wanting change on.
But they represent like 150 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other side's 150 million.
Yeah. So
Technically, and here's the actual technicality of it all. There are 50 Republicans and there are 49 Democrats in the Senate. And then you've Bernie Sanders, who's an independent. So then it's just 50-50. And then you have Kamala Harris, who's the vice president. That makes it 51-50. But that's still not enough, because you will also have, if you have one or two Democrats now that give in, because they're Democrats that are in southern states, like Joe Manchin, Kirsten Sinema, conservative Democrats that will not get re-elected. West Virginia is not going to get won by a Democrat. If Joe Manchin goes with the Democrats, then it's so fucked. But as soon as they lose one person, so it's game over.
But this is what I don't.
So they hold power, sort
Yeah.
of. But you need 60% to pass certain bills in America, and they don't have that. And 0% are Republicans, like Reese, you said, like Steve Kerr. Was that his name, Steve Kerr? What he said, there's 50 people led by Mitch McConnell in the Senate, who's the leader of the Republican Party in the Senate, there's no chance, 0% chance that they'll do it. And the Democrats have tried to put stuff forward. In fact, funnily enough, the person who got the furthest on any gun change was Trump, because he banned bump stocks. But because it was Trump, they're like, all right. So in a way, the Americans are all just betas. They just want some fucking alpha to give their bananas. Like, oh, take my bananas. Like, I guess over here, it took a conservative to do it. I wonder if in America, they figured out a way, because he's a New York Republican. So they banned like semi-automatic cop killer weapons, they called them, in New York. New York's got gun laws.
Yeah.
And Trump was behind them.
That's the problem
back in the day.
State by state, they're not a federal.
You're right. It doesn't matter then, right?
Oh, you can cross borders.
Cross the border.
And you could, there's the argument that you smuggle them over the border from Mexico, but that's black market talk. Not legally bought in one state. We'll just say the border was between where I am and the next town, which is 30 k's. And if I could buy a gun here, it might be illegal, or I can't buy that gun over there, but I can own it, buy it here, and drive over the border. But if it's illegal, it's federal across the board law.
It's more risk involved.
Yeah, well, it eliminates
That's why you do it.
But a lot of these people that are buying these guns aren't. I'll say a lot of this guy is just a psycho, right? And you'll have those psychos. But a lot of the people that buy guns for reasons like you were saying, Dave, or with fear, they're good people, but they are scared, or they've got fear. But if you take that away, that element out of the ease of access to those things, people aren't going to be just fucking going and shooting people. I mean, you look at the laws over here, but if I get convicted of even get into a fight and have charges pressed on me, I can lose my gun license. Instantly, that's a deterrent to go out and get into a fight, isn't it? Because there's repercussions, there's consequence, right? That doesn't mean that I can't. That's a choice. If I want to go out and get into a fight and have charges, I've got to accept the fact that I could lose a gun license.
Well, you've shown yourself to be violent, right?
And
That's right.
But if I want to own a gun license, I know for sure. All right, I'm just got to behave myself. It's a choice. It's an active choice to not be a dick. And if that's a deterrent, whether you can have a gun or not, and go shooting or hunting or whatever the reason being, then you know, you've already got a change in personality. I know people like that have in the past been pretty rough characters, enjoyed having a blue, but they enjoy having their rifles as well and going hunting. So now that they know what the repercussions are for going out and doing that,
They don't do it.
they don't do it because they would rather go out hunting or go for a shoot, something like that, rather than go down to the pub and box on. So, you know, it's just the aggravating thing is this is not the first time this conversation has been had, not just by us, by everybody, or by a lot of people.
Oh, there's so
And it's
many
not going to be
people,
the
yeah.
last. And the fact that it's once again kid, like Dave said, it should have been the end after Sandy Hook. But fuck me dead. Pull your
What do
heads
you
in, cunt.
argue? What other arguments do we have for them? What
There's-
worse could
there
happen,
is-
really?
There is shitloads of arguments. Like I said, though, the fact is, the moment you mention that it's gun law, they don't even want to hear what
You've got to say
it
yeah.
is. They just hear that it's a restriction to their freedoms and all that other fucking bullshit when it's not. Right? They can
So
still
what are
have
their
their-
reasons for having a gun?
So you could have multiple that they come out, right? It's their right. It's the first one that a lot of them come out with. It's their right to have a gun, right? In the Second Amendment,
For protection.
they take a portion of that and use it for their agenda. For
They
protection.
forget well-regulated.
Well
They
regulated.
always
militia.
leave well-regulated out.
Yeah.
Well-regulated militia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which some of those, from what I understand, are on the FBI watch list because they're flagged as right-wing extremist groups. Some of those militias. So
But they're unregulated.
they are unregulated. Yeah. But you know, if they want to use that militia part. But the biggest argument is their Second Amendment. They're right. They can have a gun for protection. There is some that do the sports shooting. The ones I do like, right? The ones that I think are good fun, and if I ever got the chance, would be to go to the shooting range where they do the Western six-shooter competition shooting, those sorts of things, right? So guys like that who want to do it for a sport, they're the ones that probably have no problem in having these laws come through, or like any restriction come through, because that is their sport. No matter what is going to get put forward, they are going to continue to do it, as long as it doesn't become overly expensive to the point where they can't afford to do that sport anymore. Which you don't have to do that.
But that's so far down the line. Like,
I know it is.
The idea of only sporting people and hunters, you know what I mean, and people having them for legitimate reasons is so far down the line now.
Yep.
Like, ultimately, what it comes down to, the right to bear arms is to defend yourself from an invading force.
Yep.
Or from tyranny.
So,
which is the government.
So if you've
fighting the government.
So the first argument with the invading force, like they've got the biggest spending in military, budget-wise, than any other country, right? Their military is, technology-wise, is, you know,
We do the invading.
yeah, there's no real comparison apart from, say, maybe Russia or China, something like that. When you bring in diplomatic relations into that equation, who is going to take the guns out? Who is going to even attempt to set foot in America on that? The last people that went to war or attacked American soil was the Japanese in World War II, right?
Well, yeah.
Pearl Harbor.
That
It's
was
not-
by air. If you want to class that, then still 9/11.
Still, oh yeah, but
Because if
I'm
it's by air,
talking-
well, who actually
I'm
had a
talking
land
in-
invasion?
invasion wise, you know, it was the end goal was invasion. 9/11 was no attempt. Their end goal was not to try and invade, right? It's just not going to happen. Then you can say now that they've got the guns, there's going to be no chance of that happening. You know, it's the scenario that we're never going to see, and it's not even going to be in comparison to any other time in history. But
Unless potentially
with their
those
military
people that want to invade are waiting for the guns to disappear.
That's.
But
Here,
you've still
why did Ukraine get invaded?
You've still got a large.
Ukraine gave away their nukes, and then they got invaded like
but
a decade later.
America, if they gave up all their domestic weapons, right? So that the citizens give up their weapons, they're still going to have the biggest military, aren't they? They're not going to hand over their nukes to anybody.
Again, like, well, who has the biggest air force? Who's got the biggest navy? Who's got, like, say they were taken out. Say for some reason China overtakes America, and then all of a sudden it is okay, shit, because they could. It's feasible to think China could overtake America. We definitely have more people.
I think it's a long shot.
But yeah, Well,
just
they're
based off
fastly becoming.
Just based off their military.
No, I'm basing off their economy growing.
Yeah. Okay.
They're due to be bigger than America's economy, I think, by 2050.
Yep. Okay.
And they've got more people in their army and a bigger economy.
Yep.
The money that's the money. The money into your defense is what makes you the biggest army in the world.
Yep.
It's technology to a certain degree. The German army was much more technologically advanced than Russia. For instance, there was a saying. What was one of the German officers said? One German fucking tank is worth 5 Russian tanks.
Oh yeah, right.
But 6 Russian tanks came over that fucking hill.
Okay. So if you've got the Chinese...
You know what I mean? Like but yeah, China, you don't think China could technologically advance in the next 50 years?
So just so that they do beat the American army, what chance does old Billy Boy have with his fucking AR-15 than against the Chinese army?
More. It's not just old Billy Boy. We're talking about 300 million
Billy Boys.
Yeah,
and we've seen Vietnam. What civilians can do with weaponry.
You've seen Ukraine, in Afghanistan and those sorts of places.
We've seen Ukraine.
Right?
Well, not Afghanistan, because Afghanistan again was more. There were more tribes really controlled the weapons, like Al Qaeda and and different.
Well, you
regions.
could argue that
but it would be very hard if America invaded Afghanistan and every Afghan had a fucking. And it was hard as it is.
Mm.
It was hard as it is. Like Afghanistan, we were there for 20 years and they left and it went back to the enemy. And they couldn't trust anybody. And that's what made it hard. That's why Afghanistan's still fucking shit. Because all that 20 years and all that work and all that education system that they built and the defense force they built with all the technology, the Afghan defense force had some of the best weaponry and artillery, but they didn't have the fucking the stick up. You know what I mean? They didn't have the fucking heart. They lay down their weapons and they ran away when the Americans left.
Yeah.
They lay down their technologically advanced weapons. But I don't think that America will get taken over. But we talk about the fear in the Americans. They think maybe it could happen. America is built on them fucking, fighting their government for their own government.
But this is
the thing is,
I mentioned this
rose up
before.
arms against their own government, and that's how America exists.
Yeah. But
the thing is, when it comes to fear,
the War of Independence,
you put a person in fear and give them a firearm and put them in a situation where they're scared for their life.
They're gonna
and when it's me versus you, I'm gonna pick me every time.
Kyle Rittenhouse
and
is a perfect example of that.
Trigger finger motherfuckers, man.
That's right.
They'll shoot first, ask questions later, and
exactly,
and that's what I mean with when they're in a confrontation, which doesn't need to be escalated. Having a firearm there escalates that to the next level, right? Instead of it maybe being a screaming match and then walking away, if things get extremely heated, the gun fucking comes out. Next minute, it's escalated to another level, right? So you remove that element of it, and that doesn't occur. That situation doesn't occur.
But who puts their guns down first? That's how they look at it. They look at it as, okay, yeah, we've 300. We've actually, I think it's like more guns than people now. So the concerted
I'm sure most
effort
households have more than one firearm.
You don't have to.
But that's right.
We're not saying take away the gun. We're saying take away the gun from
take away some guns. And
Look,
if you don't have,
but you're not taking.
And if you don't meet these regulations,
you're still allowing them to have and abide by the Second Amendment, right? But say a concealed carry permit.
Interpretation. Yeah.
Just a process to go through actually obtaining it.
And as I said, this is not going to happen, in the next 5-10 years. But if you put in and I'll come back to the Swiss cheese model, right? Start putting in barriers there. So, say for that situation that I just spoke about before with, a confrontation. Reese and I have just had an argument, getting heated. I whip out a gun. He's quicker on the draw. He shoots me, right? Because we've both got concealed carry permit. Do you remove that situation? That concealed carry permit or the ability to have those weapons in a public setting, right? We have our screaming match. We might throw down for a couple of minutes. We walk away. Nobody fucking died.
They know that though.
I know they know that.
They
but
do.
This is the most aggravating
Their
thing.
argument is they would rather have their guns for this stupid reason than all of the 1,000 legitimate reasons. Of course, taking a gun out of the situation means you have no gun. But they would, so that situation you were talking about would not end up in someone dying. It wouldn't, and there would be far more gun deaths. It would, like, literally, you cannot question it. The gun deaths in America would go down, but they would be like, but I'm far less. The idea of them is the freedom of it all.
Yes.
They're not having,
and that's
a lot of those arguments about more guns, it's less gun crime, is just, that's throwing shit at a wall to shut you up and push the ball down the line. It always comes down to, whenever it comes to Supreme Court, whenever it comes to even those militias or the right to bear arms, it comes down to not defending themselves. And everyone agrees, okay, if I get into an argument with someone and I have a gun, I'm going to use it. If I have a gun in my house, statistically, for any reason, I'm more likely to die, whether I kill myself or I come in and I get in a gunfight or I try to shoot fucking an intruder and I shoot me fucking through a wall and hit me kid. You know what I mean? Like, there's, of course, if you take away the guns, there'll be less gun crime. Even they will agree to you, but they don't think. Will they
though? I don't think a lot of them will. I don't think a lot of them will. I think a lot of them would say the answer to a lot of those situations. It's like the bullshit statement that an armed society is a polite society, which is just dumb fuck. Like, you got that mentality, just punch yourself. But I just don't think that a lot of them do see those arguments and those talking points legitimately see through it. Because if they did and they genuinely knew that was an issue, they would still be, you would think, open to even discussing some sort of restriction for whatever reason, say to 18-year-olds owning a gun, something like that. But there is not even that openness to come to the table for, because
that's what I mean.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't think that there is some, that would go.
Obviously, there is a pretty large portion of the population that does want those changes.
Absolutely, man. But
it's just they're in a position where they can't make the change.
That's right. But it's been pushed by, as we said, gun lobbyists and those sorts of things. But to not even come to the table to talk about it or even listen to, genuinely listen to points of view to be put forward to potentially make things better as a country and to reduce these mass shootings. It's just,
they don't win elections.
Yeah, and it's like you said, that's cowardice.
So Beto O'Rourke went down to fucking Texas, literally, tried to run for Senate in Texas, and he said he tried to bring in gun control, and he was one of the most popular fucking candidates in a long time for Democrats in Texas. And as soon as he did that, boom, it's a non sequitur for some voters.
Yeah,
it just is. Americans want their guns. And I agree with you. Like, it's so reasonable to say, well, you pass it. Like, how proud are Aussies when they be like, yeah, I've got my gun license, I'm a competent, having a gun license in Australia means I can fucking, I can have this gun, I'm competent with this weapon.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's put together, you know what I mean? I think they're afraid over there that they won't be allowed their gun under certain regulations when it comes in. They think of slippery slope arguments.
Yep.
I think ultimately they've heard everything we're saying now has been said.
It's been said, yeah.
It has.
Every single week. And they hear it and it goes in one ear and out the other. Because the arguments will win this argument, win this argument, and then we get down to that core that we've not. and we stalemate it.
Yep.
And we say that obviously there's 50% of people that want gun laws, want regulations in America, and you've 50% of people that want nothing. Okay. And that's not 50% of people that want to get rid of guns. That's 50% of people that want some regulate. There might be 5% to 10% that want to get rid of assault weapons.
Yep.
And then there might be 20% that want background, or 60% that want background checks. But then there might come down to 40% again that want a waiting period. And the problem is that there's not enough people. It's not just that they're cowards in politicians. It's that they're disinterested.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it. If there was enough, they would get it done.
So what
More could happen
if kids
for them
getting
to get
shot
it done?
at school? What
Happened.
if that's not going to get you interested? Then you shouldn't be. Yeah, I know. Like
Younger kids, more
this
kids, and they were
conversation
younger.
goes around in a revolving door because we're just, we're come back to
until
the same question.
those
What's it
50
gonna take?
people all lose a child to a shooting, nothing's going to change.
Look,
Right.
I might have thought that, but at one stage, but seeing their history, I still think that they might turn around and say, "Oh, well, if the teacher had a gun," and they would pass legislation for the teachers having guns rather than before they would remove the potential.
I don't think
for
it'd go that way. I think it's the fact that, which is like what Steve Kerr said, is we're desensitized.
Yep.
And he said we can't let it be desensitized. So it's easy to say thoughts and prayers go out to the families that are affected, but until those people are directly affected and know how it feels,
Yep.
It's not an agenda for them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But you could use that same thought process with abortion, like we said. These people that are offering thoughts
it could work with anything.
Yeah. But these people that are offering the thoughts and prayers are the ones that are standing at the front of abortion clinic, demanding that women have to have these babies rather than have an abortion, and then the next turning around and wanting more guns for kids after they've been shot at school. Like it.
Abortion's a little different because we've yet to see the backlash from what happened. The abortion or Roe v. Wade being overturned in the Supreme Court isn't something that happened via an election, unless you want to feed it back to Donald Trump, put these conservatives in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that got leaked that's happening. It will be interesting now, because now it's a state issue, to see if that does, but see what Americans do think. I think most Americans want abortion, because think about it. It's only about, I think it's up to 70% are pro-choice in America, really. Okay, but here's the funny, that test you can have, the Harmony test that can tell whether your kid will have Down syndrome or not. So everyone, say is 60%, 70% pro-choice in America. What percentage of people after the Harmony test do you think continue with the pregnancy?
Fuck all.
It's less than 10. So all of a sudden, these pro-lifers think it's okay to have an abortion when there's a high chance of Down syndrome. So if they're killing, do they think it's, what about a Down syndrome person? Do they not have, like walking around now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So their life argument is bollocks.
Oh,
like, it's
man,
all
that's
bollocks. And when it comes
shut.
down to it, like Reese was saying,
Yeah.
as soon as a lived experience happens, you change your mind. John McCain had I think it was John McCain, had a daughter who was a lesbian or something like that. So no, it's not. I can't remember who it is. One of the Republicans has a daughter who's a lesbian, so he's for gay marriage. John McCain was tortured in fucking Vietnam, and he was one of the only people that came out against waterboarding as a Republican when they were waterboarding terrorists.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because he was tortured.
Yeah.
So it's like
They've been directly affected by it. Yeah.
And then they change it. But I guarantee you, as soon as they run on it, then they'll lose. Because it's the constituent. I really do feel like Americans, for the most part, don't want what we have. Definitely, we're miles ahead of where they would want. The fact that they can't even get a bill through for a background check. For a background check, dude, after Sandy Hook, after this,
Yeah.
Look, I hope I'm wrong, because I've been at it for so long. And even lefties in America now are for guns, because now they're like, well, we fucking got to defend ourselves. You know what I mean? We're going to protest now. They're bringing guns. We should bring guns. The Black Panthers were a Marxist, a communist, fucking arms-bearing motherfuckers. It's you have all of the right, and then you have some of the left. Means that's the majority aren't going to change it.
Yeah.
And then, like we said, because we're not the ones that need. If we moved there, if you live in Texas right now, what are you doing? You're getting a sidearm, man. You know what I mean? You're going to have to have a gun. And even then, even though we know it's not going to help, statistically, me having a gun in my hand means that I'm going to more likely to die of having a gun. The fear of the fact that any motherfucker could have a gun.
Yeah.
What sort of a...
You say the wrong thing to one person and boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how, like, we did buybacks, but we had nothing compared to the numbers that America had.
No, but
we definitely didn't have the political, because, like, even Jim Jeffries said it, the culture of Australia when we banned guns was very different. We were like, yeah, you're probably right, mate.
Bunch of
convict
motherfuckers going, we'll handle
maybe we
back.
shouldn't have guns, guys. You know what I mean? Like, really, like, there's no sizable movement in Australia now that has that. There's nothing that would change it back. Not really. That would have us all have that. There are some gun owners that fucking love that gun. Fucking love to have it, but they're not.
There is a very, very small group of people that do.
It's their culture, bro.
Yeah, they do believe that we should be like American. We should have all these guns, but they're that small.
Tiny. But over there, we don't have the same history that, like, they rose up and took their country because everyone had guns, and the British couldn't come over there and get the country back because they had guns. Because they failed to remember the French gave them a little bit of.
And the Dutch and the Spanish.
Yeah, but that was why. Okay. It's vicious. It's vicious.
I understand that's part of their culture.
And yeah, if they got background checks,
the other
guaranteed.
Side, like, us as a nation, yes, we haven't fought back to remove an oppressor, but historically we're a nation of convicts. You could say.
We never had that.
No, but we didn't have that, even that element of, I don't know. It's just the difference in culture there, but we've never had that over the top need for fucking guns.
But we love Ned Kelly.
Trying to make sense
you know what
of
I mean?
it.
Like, we have similar things, right?
Yeah, but that's more of a, as you know, what we're talking about with the underdog sort of type thing. Yes, you've got Ned Kelly who was fighting back against. Yeah, he was pushing back against injustice, and oppression for what it was at the time. And that's a figure that's held up in our culture, I suppose, but
like, that's what I mean. Like, but we still don't do it. We have our hero is someone who took up arms and fought the fucking government with a book on his head, like at his last stand, obviously. You know, but he would, you know, and we put him to death. The motherfucker, we hunt. You know what I mean? Like
a martyr.
Yeah, like we've got that. We have the war history. We have the genocide history of the native people. Same with America. Very similar.
Yeah, we just got to.
We've been in all the wars they've been, really.
Don't forget the Emu War either.
Fucking Emu War.
What's the Emu War?
We lost the war to emus. No,
the right to bear feathers. Yeah, to wear wings. Yeah.
So I think the history of it
no
was
fly zone though.
There was a mass population of emus, and they were trying to exterminate them, and they ran out of bullets or something like that, or the bullets weren't. They couldn't kill them enough of them, so essentially the emus won.
The emus won.
We have the only thing comparable to America, the amount of guns in America, is the amount of kangaroos that are in Australia, and we cannot keep them at bay, and we used guns. You know, like. But ultimately, lads, because we probably should give like final thoughts or whatever, I think we're all in agreement that yes, of course, America needs gun control.
Absolutely.
And by gun control, we just mean simple common sense fucking legislation, background checks. Yeah, invest in mental health as well, but have that joining into a gun license registry. Have practical tests, theory tests. Any one of these things would be a gigantic improvement.
Even
federally,
open up the conversation about it would be a massive step, because even just allowing conversation to happen opens the doorway for progress and things to start changing for the better. And it's the start of moving away from more kids being shot up, because I think everybody knows it's going to happen again. It's just a matter of time, and it's going to continue to happen until something's done. And adding more guns to the equation, or arming teachers, or putting security guards at the front door is not going to stop the situation. It's not going to stop these things from occurring time and time again.
It's going to change the way people do it.
That's right.
How stressful are teachers, dude, and giving them a gun? Imagine giving a stressful motherfucker who's on low wages a gun.
They're not paid enough. Imagine saying to them, "Here, we're gonna pay you the bare minimum that we have to, and at the same time, here's a gun, and you've got to protect all these kids and throw your life on the line for this
and educate the next generation."
As well as educate.
Give them Kevlar too, because as we know, guns don't work. And it has to be an AR-15 or better. We got to match them gun for gun. So you have to have your teacher now all of a sudden is in full fucking riot gear. Has to have an assault rifle. And needs mags. They need mags. They need extra ammo.
Walk in with a fucking chain gun, just sitting on the desk every fucking.
Fuck it.
Like, it's just
grenades.
Maybe every classroom should just have a Model T 101.
No, because what if that malfunctions?
Go down the stairs.
Have the ability to
That's all you gotta do. Stairs.
have the ability to learn, mate.
Yeah, that's true. Velociraptors. Like motherfuckers open doors, clever girl, bang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we could ride them. They'd have to learn how to ride them like. But look at us now. Even now, how desensitized we are. We can joke about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, isn't that mad? That's a massacre just fucking happened. Like a bloodbath. And
one of those
is so nonsensical, the ruling class in America, that they're a parody of themselves. Like, you couldn't think of worse arguments. You know, like you said, you could predict it's going to happen again. And I'll tell you what's going to happen again. Ted Cruz is going to say, right now is not the right time to politicize this. You have the Democrats out right now, and the first thing they go to is, you know what will be better if we eliminate people's rights. I'm sorry, but taking away people's rights does not stop gun control. That's what he says, and people go, yeah, that's right. What? How does less rights make? You know what I mean? And then it goes on and on,
yeah.
And then they only have to do that long enough for that situation to be out of our head, and to us to be moved on to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Yeah.
Someone's boob at a Super Bowl getting come at. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that like even we were talking about Ukraine.
Yeah.
That's going away.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Ukraine for weeks.
And fucking it's serious. It's even worse than it was before.
Yeah.
With Mariupol getting taken over, and the Donbass and the whole eastern side of the country. It's fucking devastating what's happening in Ukraine. But there's a new thing. So all you have to do is spin it for long enough, and then it goes away.
Yep.
Look at the January 6th, the insurrectionists.
Yeah.
That's been diluted and talked about so much, and from different points of view, that now
look how much we've even forgotten about January 6th.
Yes, put it in the past.
Yeah.
Like, now it's like, okay, yeah, whatever, let's go on to the next thing because we need to get stuff done.
Yeah.
It's obstructionism, and that's what they do. They only have to do it enough
Deflect it
to get past it, and the fact that we're becoming more numb to it, I think that window gets smaller.
Yeah.
And that's all there is. I
Anyway.
think it's obstructionism, and the Supreme Court, whenever it gets to there, it becomes their job is to protect the Constitution and to interpret it a certain way. And as long as you're willing to not vote for even scumbags like Hillary Clinton, you let scumbags like Donald Trump in there who will put justices on the court that are conservative. So every single election counts for Americans, and it would I think it's going to take them 20 years to get the Supreme Court even. And then when it becomes even, then it might take them another 10 to 15 years, 16 years, sorry, to actually get a progressive justice surplus or a what would you call it? What majority? And then they can have 60% of the Senate and the House on their side. It all has to line up.
Yeah.
And it's just because those appointments are for life.
Yeah, they got to die or step down, don't they?
Justices.
And I wonder how many people are going to die in the next 30 to 40 years while that's happening.
Or women are going to fucking, like, when it comes to abortion, are going to fucking... Man, women do crazy shit when their access to that stuff's taken away. They just do. You know what I mean? And then the kids that are born into those households do crazy shit.
Yeah.
So
It breeds contempt
just
for a whole
that
generation.
Trump presidency with the Supreme Court has devastated America for decades.
Yeah.
And I think little moves like that at the judicial level is why I can't see it happening in America.
It's the ripple effect, right?
Because as soon as someone passes a law, okay, in America, say they do pass a background check law federally, they're going to bring it right to the Supreme Court. So I'll put an end to it now from my side. Yep. And if you want to say some last words, we'll do that. I am hopeful that they will. However, I'm very skeptical. Sadly.
I think it won't be all too long before we're sort of talking about it again. Probably not doing another episode, but talking about it again. And I'm also very skeptical that things will change or even be discussed. And unfortunately, I think that's just the nature of the beast over there. And I don't think I'll ever come to terms with the fact that young kids are being killed, not just once, not a one-off occasion, but again, after how many times, and nothing to be. I just can't understand that, and it's probably the cultural thing, very much so it probably is, but I just can't understand that logic. And I'll stand by what I said before. You know, if you're that person and you feel that you have to have a gun, or just you have a gun because it's right, you know, use your fucking head. Like, do the right thing by not just stop thinking about yourself, start thinking about everybody else and those people that did lose kids in this tragedy, and all the kids that were lost in the previous ones and the ones to come. Think about them for a moment, because something's got to change. Something's got to happen. I don't think it'll change now. I hope it does. I really do. I hope. I want to stop hearing about these mass shootings, whether it be kids, whether it be adults, whatever. I don't want to stop hearing about it just because I turn the news off. I want to stop hearing about it because it stops happening. Hey.
Reece, any final thoughts on the subject?
Oh, look, I'm in 100% agreement with the both of you. It's just, it seems so backwards to me. Clearly something needs to change. I think if everything keeps going the way it's going, something big's going to happen. Not to say that what's already happened isn't big, but
I think just more people need to be crab moshing rather than fucking shooting.
It can't keep going the way it's going. It's just,
All right. Well, everybody, raise your mugs, dudes. Or you're on the Teds now, Vinno, aren't you?
Mate, only
Where'd you get the old sneaky
Trying
Teds
to
from?
relive his youth.
Hey, I get shit for bringing Teds to the fucking.
I don't know how you
ahead.
drink them.
that's not a bad drop. Fuck.
Oh, it's not great.
Jeez.
Same way you put anything in your mouth, dude. You grab the shaft, you play with its balls, and you drink down. And on that note, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.